going to talk about career choices. So this came up in a family discussion the other day because we have our last daughter heading out to college. And as I'm nearing middle age and midlife, I have put a lot of thought into what does it look like when you're 18 to 20 versus what it looks like when you're in your mid 40s, entering your early 50s, the beginning of what they call midlife. What does that look like, and what would you have done differently if you could go back and change your career path? So this actually leads me to a whole new YouTube video series that I'm going to do. A day in a life of all of these different careers and career paths, because I really feel strongly that kids coming out of college are basically just kind of guessing at what they're interested in and what they have interest in at age 18 versus what they might have interest in age 40 to 50. Now, if you're like me and okay, so maybe you're not like me, but I am very unusual. I graduated from college with a degree in accounting, and I went to work for an electric utility. I actually had the option to go work for an electric utility or an airline 2.5 hours away. When I went to go, I was really more interested in the airline than the utility, because utility is like, boring. And the airlines are fun and exciting for someone that is 18, well, actually I was 22, 21 when I graduated from college. So when I went to go look at the airline, and I went to go try to look and rent an apartment, I was appalled at how much it costs to live in the metro area versus our small little town that we're from in northern Minnesota. So I actually chose, because I couldn't afford the rent in the larger city, even with the salary that they were offering, I chose to go and work for the utility. And so that was 25 years ago. I'm really dating myself. Yeah, 25 years ago. And so it's a very small utility, so there's absolutely no room for movement. So I'm as high as I can go. There's one person above me, and that person is about the same age as me. And so we're probably both going to be done about the same time from the utility. Unless my content creation business takes over, but that's my side gig, and we'll see where that ends up. But so going back to, I feel like as my kids are going through college, because I had choices that I didn't really get to make because of my financial situation, they get a little bit more choices because we are actually able to help them a little bit more than my parents were able to help me. So I feel like they have a little bit more ability to make choices. And I think times have just really changed with the way that high schools are setting kids up for different internships and different things that they like. My oldest daughter is actually in grad school right now, going down a wonderful path that she has identified that she has liked from an internship that she actually did in high school, and she has stayed on that path. But however, she does have friends that have switched majors 5 to 6 times and are still in college and probably going to be there a long time, or have exited college and are in the working field without a degree, which happens actually quite a bit too. So as my youngest daughter is going into college, I've spent a lot of time with her exploring what she was interested in Minnesota. And she's actually going to school to be a teacher, bless her heart, because teaching has turned into an absolutely very difficult job. But she wants to go into teaching in Minnesota. Her lifestyle plan is to have a secondary type job during the summer, because our schools are actually that traditional where they go from September to May, and then we don't have like the long breaks that some of the southern schools have. So her career will probably be really good for her. But as I'm watching my children make these decisions and look at this. I didn't really have those options when I was in high school to kind of explore all of the different avenues and things that were out there. So I have a lot of friends that have kids that just really don't know what they want to do when they enter college, or they go into college undecided, or they change their major 3 or 4 times. And I keep thinking to myself, this really is not, how do I want to say this? It's not normal anymore in today's society for a person to stay at a job their entire career like I have. So I have to give it to these kids that they can go into college and get a degree, and probably they're going to switch jobs 3 or 4 times, and they're probably going to work jobs that are not even invented yet, or the technology is not even out there yet, or is probably something on the moon that will eventually be there that we don't know anything about. But I just really feel like I don't think these kids that are going into college, and if you're a college student listening to this, don't stress if you aren't 100% sure what you want to do, because you are going to have lots of opportunities in your life and lots of opportunities to change and pivot. And you might not be able to live in a small little town like we do. You might have to move to a bigger city where you have more opportunities. So anyway, okay, I'm kind of all over the place, but this actually got me thinking that would this be a good series on YouTube to do a day in the life of all of these different careers, so you can actually see what people do? I mean, let me know, would that be something interesting? Because I actually feel like that would be a really good topic for my show to work on. So if I did a day in the life of my job where I work in accounting, no one would want to be in accounting. Like, nobody would want to be in accounting unless you love absolutely sitting in your chair from the time you start work until the time you leave and typing numbers into spreadsheets, and hardly not talking to anybody. You aren't going to want to be an accountant. If I would have known that 20 years ago, I would have ran and went and did something completely different. I mean, like, as fast as I possibly could, I would have ran. Because 25 years of sitting in an office chair, sure, I might be smart, I might be intelligent, I might be able to balance numbers, I might be able to find a penny that I'm off, that I've been off for a year. I might be able to find a penny by the time we go through audit. It is just boring. It's just boring. So I would have probably chosen something completely different. I know a lot of you out there have said, you can change, you can pivot, you can move. Well, when you live in a small little town in northern Minnesota, that's just sometimes not the easy thing to say when you're supporting a family and the job availability in your particular area is low. So that makes it a little bit difficult to change and to pivot. If I wanted to move, sure, but who wants to move when you can live with the bears and the moose and the wolves and have deer in my backyard and be able to have my dogs close by? I mean, I think I'm pretty lucky with that. So let me know if you think that is something that you would be super interested in, a day in the life. I have so many people I could interview for different types of jobs, and I would love to interview other people out there. If you have an interesting job or something that is really interesting that I could fly out and video your job for a day and put that out on YouTube, I think that would be just very, 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 very valuable. But anyway, that's kind of my ramble for today. I just wanted to let those college kids know, if you're watching this, that all these college kids that are starting school, it's so exciting and it's so fun to see you fly and see you experience life and have joy and anticipation and love for the career that you're going into. I know when I went to orientation 3 weeks ago with my daughter, she's going to a larger college. My first daughter went to a very small college. My second daughter is going to a very large college, completely different atmosphere. They were absolutely amazing. But when we were there, every time I walk into a college and we go into or anything, I'm just filled with the excitement and the all the feels of being on campus and knowing that these kids have a purpose and are working towards something wonderful, and they're going to turn out wonderful lawyers and doctors and physicians and nurses and accountants, pilots, content creators. There's a lot of content creators that go to college, graphic design, tons and tons of things. So I think that it's a great thing, and I wish all of you college kids well, and put some effort and time into what your job might look like 20 years from now, and really think about that. And good luck to you all, and I hope and pray that everything goes well for you.